Hey everybody, welcome back to Hawman's Advice Forum. I'm the Hawman. And in this video, I'm going to just talk about one of the worst feelings I think a person can experience. And I've experienced this many, many times, especially throughout my late teens and 20s, in my adulthood when I became an adult. And there's nothing worse than feeling like you've been abandoned by the people who you thought to a certain point would care about you, and then it turns out that they don't care about you at all, and they get mad at you for not following their orders. And when they're one, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you don't do what they say, well, actually, let me kind of flip the script. When you do what they say, and it turns out to be a fucking disaster, they won't take any responsibility. And then when you don't do what they say, they're going to get angry at you. And I've experienced this with my family, people who I thought were my friends. And, when I see what's going on in the country, I totally understand what people are going through. Even though it's been a while since I've gone through that. There was nothing more devastating than feeling like you've been abandoned by the people who you thought were supposed to care for you. Right? And many, many times I've pretty much been abandoned by every single person that I knew. And there were certain points in my life where I thought, where were you when I needed you? And it's just fucking excuse after excuse after excuse to tell me why they shouldn't care or why they shouldn't do anything. Right? It's very devastating that that's what people will do. Right? And I'm just talking about personal life. I'm not talking about our government or anything like that, or the big corporations of the world, but that's just a reflection of society, right? So, whatever I experienced at a micro scale is just a bigger reflection of what everybody else is going through. And you could kind of see that what's going on right now is that pretty much everybody on a grand scale is feeling abandoned. And I told people that, people got mad at me because I told them the truth, and I told them that they sucked for abandoning me. And they got really offended. And this was like 10 years ago. And so throughout the years, I've had to become much more self-sufficient because the people around me were worthless, selfish people who sided with the dark side and thought that they could get away with being little selfish pricks. And I said that when people need you, you cannot abandon them. And they got mad at me for saying that. And now look at what's happened. Look at everybody. People have abandoned each other. And then people want to know why society is going to hell. And there's nothing worse than feeling abandoned by the people that you needed at the most lowest point in your life. When you're drowning, someone should at least try to stick out their hand and save you and pull you back out from the water, right? And people won't even try to do that because they're fucking selfish and think there's something wrong with you for needing help at your lowest point. And that happened to me so many times throughout my life. And what I experienced wasn't unique to me. It's a reflection of our society. And so when a crisis happens, people aren't going to be there for you. People aren't going to be there for you. And that's why at this point in my life, I've built a lot more emotional resiliency and a little bit more financial resiliency. And who knows, if the economy crashes and we're all fucking homeless, then that's it. But, when I see pictures of people in the food lines, I think, thank goodness that's not fucking me. But I know why they're there, because the people have been abandoned. They've been abandoned by our leaders, our so-called leaders, our so-called government. Right? by the so-called I don't know, big corporations of the world that have treated them like cattle, like Amazon. It's fucking sad. You know? I said to other people that when people need you, you can't abandon them, and that's exactly what they did. And then they wonder what they're supposed to do. And they don't realize that they're their own worst enemies, because they thought that if they were selfish and thought only about themselves, that somehow they were going to get away with it and everything was going to be okay. But it's not okay, unfortunately. So, if you have any thoughts, comments, leave them below. I know it's been a while since I posted, but I just haven't been in the mood to just kind of make recordings and videos, and YouTube sucks because the tech companies are in full censorship mode, and it's quite depressing, but we'll fight on. All right, we'll see you guys next time, everybody. Bye.